guys, welcome back to JD Stream / JD Podcast / JD Unplugged. I mean, it could have like 20 different names. I could keep going.
Yeah, sure. Game of Thrones
I'm
stuff.
I'm your host, Darren G, followed
And
by
your co-host, Joe Van. No thes this time. And we are graced with two guests, both returning. For those who are audio listeners only, you obviously have no idea who we're talking about, but anyone else on YouTube, you can see the people here. Welcome both returning guests.
Thank you.
So, oh my gosh, we're recording Slacking. So listen, so this is going to be dropping. We drop these episodes every Friday. However, at the time of this recording, it's Valentine's Day. So we're going to be late to the game once this drops. But happy Valentine's Day, everybody. How you guys doing?
Happy Valentine's Day.
Feeling the love? Is there any anti-Valentine's Day people here? Or?
No, but I do have a very unproductive love life at the moment. So it's like I can't relate to the people posting a couple pictures.
Right,
Did you
yeah.
say unproductive or productive?
Unproductive. I wish it was productive.
Hey, everything in time. There's a reason, you got to wait until, find the right person, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Exactly.
Nice. What about you guys? What's your love situation? I feel like mine's kind of boring because it's been the same thing, right? Like my girlfriend and I, our first date was on the 17th. So it was like right after Valentine's Day, but we were talking before then. Like back when we first started talking on Tinder, and I kind of wanted to be super corny, where I was like, I don't know you, but happy Valentine's Day. But I was like, nah, that'll come off creepy. She'll stop talking to me. So I didn't mention it. And then when we finally had our first date, then then I was just gushing over her endlessly, and she was okay. But at the time, because I hadn't met her yet, we didn't have our first date. So at the time, I was just like, it'd be really fucking creepy if I was just like, happy Valentine's Day, It's like we don't know each other. I shouldn't do that. So I just waited and. Now we get to celebrate Valentine's.
Do you still do Valentine's Day, Joe, or do you wait? Because you're like, well, it's the anniversary is coming up in 2 days.
It's on the 17th, so
like,
just wait then.
Yeah.
No, we wait. We don't wait. Sorry, we do everything. We love celebrations.
Okay.
Any excuse to, yeah. So
I just feel like it's overrated. It's too much for me. I can't. I'm right now currently dating my toilet.
Oh my god, that's so funny. That's such a callback too, because we first started talking about it with Eric, so that's jokes.
I'm so sick right now. Like I don't know what I ate. I do know what I ate. I had hot dogs last night.
Oh, well, what are you doing? It's almost as if you planned for this. You're like Valentine's Day. Oh my god.
I just went to town. We got shrimp, we got chicken, we got fries, we got pies. I woke up this morning at 3 a.m.
Oh, of course you did, yeah. Just with the grumbles, and you're like ready to go.
I've literally been like dry heaving all morning. Like it's been the worst. I've been on my knees.
Wait, I thought you were just talking about irritable bowel syndrome. You talking about puking?
Puking.
Oh my god. I'm so sorry. Now I feel like an asshole. I was like making jokes, but you're actually sick.
It's been brutal. I've been just in my shower for like an hour. It's just the only thing that makes me feel good because I don't have a bathtub.
Right. Well, how are you feeling right now?
Oh, I'm I'm all right. I'm
If you need to leave, you're allowed to.
I'm good.
Okay. We're holding you for 1 full hour here, but you're allowed to leave. Okay. But so one thing that we always talk about, it's complete, I think this is episode 13 now, so it's like a hardened tradition is to talk about our location situations. So for those who are with us,
irony.
Yeah, exactly. 3 minutes ago, I went from one place to another place completely. But for those just tuning in, last you guys talked to me, I was in the past. I don't know if you guys knew, but I'm not in the year 2021. I'm in the year 2001. I time traveled 20 years in the past, and I'm trying to find my way back because all I'm trying to do is just meet Darren at the studio. Since episode 1, I've been trying to do that. So my plan was this. I traveled from the east, and I landed in California. I hung out with the crew from the OC. Fashion was impeccable. 2001, what are you going to do? And then my plan from there was to get to a NASA launch pad and try and find my way back to some kind of wormhole in space. So as you can see behind me, I'm hanging out with the astronauts. They're playing it safe with their spacesuits on. Whatever. I don't need one. I'm from the future. I don't know if that gives me superpowers.
Is that a guy or a female on the right?
Well, I don't know. They're non-binary.
Hey, man.
True.
It's
Sure.
just two people in suits. The suits could be empty.
There
But
actually
Joe,
could
what-
I
even
assume
be
there's
androids.
people in there.
What
It
if
could
you
even be
took COVID back with you to 2001, though?
Oh my god. Oh, what if I just infected the year 2001? Uh-oh. It's like the Borat plot. I'm traveling
Oh my
just
God.
across
Monkeys?
time,
Oh, you
across
did go to
countries,
family
just
at
spreading
Christmas.
COVID. This is
Same.
the dark timeline. I didn't realize, but I was the harbinger of death.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Come on. And I just left the planet too, so I just left it in ruins to come back to 2021. What if I come back to 2021 and it's like a hell landscape and none of you guys are there? I'm
And there's
talking to
monkeys
a future
everywhere.
that doesn't exist anymore. Oh my gosh.
Brutal.
Oh, okay. Well, let's just hope that's not the case. We don't know if that's true. This is a worst case scenario. Anyway, that's my location situation. What about you guys? What do you?
Well, it's great that Skype works back in time as well. That's cool.
Because the internet existed in 2001. It was more rudimentary, but I see for whatever reason my laptop has the ability to time travel too. So yeah, what are you gonna do? Yeah, I got HD before HD existed. It's nice. Yeah.
Okay, I just want to say, Aidan, I'm loving your background. Like, it is
Right.
sick.
Please talk about
Like,
what
can
is
you
going
like
on.
explain
if
what's
it's
going
easy.
on there? Yeah, like
my
I need
Got
to know
merch,
more.
baby.
It's a man cave. Can we say
Yeah.
man cave anymore?
It's just so
Nerd
sick.
You're a
cave.
fan, and it's a cave.
That's fake.
You didn't have to tell us.
You didn't have to tell us that.
Hey, I mean, you're being honest. That's okay. Being earnest,
I knew that though, actually.
for sure.
Upstairs have decided to vacuum.
They've been vacuuming for the past like
That's-
20 minutes.
Right.
Yeah, well, not only 20 minutes, but last week too. So they've been vacuuming for a long time.
But not
Yeah.
any of the day that we're not recording, they vacuum at like 8 p.m.
Right.
So it's like, okay, we're
Dang
watching
it.
a movie. 8 p.m. we're watching a movie. They start
Yeah.
vacuum.
It's quiet though.
But they know that that you're recording, so it's like, we'll do it now.
Exactly. They were like, now's the time.
And now their
It's
dog's
their
like,
15 minutes of fame. They want to be on the.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm really not picking it up that much on my end, so I say you guys are okay for now. Yeah.
it's probably
But,
just for us because we're like,
Yeah.
So,
Like
hey, Darren, pick up your little boy. I can hear him.
it's a she.
Hey, sorry, her.
It's-
Yeah.
it's
That,
okay. She's,
pick up that bitch.
they're vacuuming upstairs. She's actually coming towards me right now. They're vacuuming upstairs, so I guess sometimes when they're vacuuming, the dog must bark. She was
Sure,
sleeping.
Yeah, it's good for a dog. Yeah, it's like thunder.
She just left. She's gone. She's gone.
Oh, she went out the door. That's so
That's-
funny. Ah, the door's open. Hey, there. Look,
Oh,
She's
so
like,
it's-
I'm
oh, look at that. Open
Here
the
we
door.
go.
That's
Here
so
we go.
cool.
I'll
Oh,
get him.
Darren, I'm kind of in love with your dog. I don't normally like chihuahuas,
He
but
leaves his room, appears in this room. Come here.
yeah.
There's actually a time portal from my room to like where he is.
Magic!
Look
magic.
at that
That's
little
it.
boy. Oh my god, what a funny little
So
guy.
let's sit here for the whole thing.
Yeah, that's true.
She's
Nice.
crazy.
Okay. So Darren, where are you at? What's your current situation?
I'm in the studio.
You're in the studio, yeah. You're in the cat. You're in the bedroom part of the studio. You're
Yeah.
chilling, yeah.
I'm chilling.
You got your rifle. You got your Kill Bill, some Pulp Fiction.
I'm just
Yeah.
chilling, just in case. You just never know, right? Especially
Yeah,
with
yeah.
this Popeye stuff. I can't keep it.
You got to be ready. Oh God. Yo, well, hey, at least you got some good merch. What's that? What do you got on your noggin?
Oh yeah. You're good, Joe. You're good. He's funny. I already got it all prepared too. Let me try to screen share quick time with y'all. Give me one
Yeah,
second.
absolutely.
Damn, you already know I got it popping. Here we go. Wait, how do I do this again? Oh, I think I got it.
It's
Can
been
you
so
see my
long.
screen?
Yeah,
Can you guys see my screen?
it's coming up.
Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boom. It
Alright.
stings. What's that? A patch?
Yeah, I got a new patch.
Nice.
There's stings patches. So
Beauty.
these are on sale too. What I'm trying to do right now though is
Well, hey, take it back a second. What's on sale? What's going on? Pretend we don't know. Tell us all about it.
So yeah, I just have a little Valentine's Day sale going on right now for my beanies.
Oh,
And-
wow.
Top of that, I have like a little Valentine's Day special. So like if you put in code VDAY at the checkout, you get 10% off of your order. And then on top of that, I have free shipping worldwide. So
Nice.
can't go wrong really if you just need a hat or two, maybe three. And
You never know. Yeah.
You never know.
Or 12.
For 12, you never know. Right now, I'm currently trying to set up Apple Pay. So
Okay, yeah.
hopefully that will be done by today. I'm hoping. I'm really hoping. But if not, oh well, what can you do?
Yeah.
You win some, you lose some. But yeah,
Yeah.
check it out.
Beautiful.
If you guys like, it's swatshop.ca. And
Watch Shop. Yeah.
Let's go.
I'm kind of surprised that name wasn't taken. That seems really popular, but just nobody thought of combining those two words until you.
I'm sure there's people that have
Watch Shop.
combined those words, but
No, but the fact that you were able to get that website domain is pretty tight.
oh yeah, I think it's because it's like a Canadian thing. Like there
It's
was so
.ca
many,
and not .com.
there's so
Yeah.
many to choose from. There's a lot to choose from, and like there's so many different combinations. And it's like this one just clicked.
Nice. That's like me with my website, The Joe Van. Except it's a .com. It's not a .ca. So it's like I got the American domain and all that. Yeah.
Cha-ching.
Cha-ching.
Yes,
That's right.
please.
But now,
So
so
what-
Eric, you I think are in the same place, or what? Yeah, I got the.
Yeah. This is my bedroom. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
Richmond Hill.
Oh right, yeah. There you
just
going back
outside
there.
of Toronto.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Nice.
Richmond Hill. I think I have some family. I think someone lives in Richmond Hill, some from my family, but I don't really talk to my family, so I don't really know. But
Okay.
I'm sure we talked about this before, but is Richmond Hill a part of Toronto? Or is it York? What district does it land in as far as
it's York, yeah.
It is York. Okay, so that's kind of the borders almost. Richmond Hill, yeah. And then the second you go south from
it. And can I just bring this up? Thank God everything is opening on the 22nd.
Oh yeah.
Just,
the 22nd?
You're feeling it. You're like, God damn it, I need
I'm really sick of everything getting locked down. It's just
yeah.
Open
Okay,
the
wait.
fuck up.
Sorry, can we rewind? What part of it is it? The York?
He's in the region.
Yeah, York region, yeah.
Oh yeah, because that was like the first thing that closed, right? I'm pretty sure that was like the first thing that went on lockdown was your region. No?
Yeah.
Or-
Toronto and
Yeah. Toronto and York, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then after like maybe a couple, then we went into lockdown. But you guys have been in it for like the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Hamilton's. Yeah, it's interesting because Hamilton is like older than the country itself, and yet it's still kind of like it's not as busy as Toronto, at least not yet. It's definitely starting to. It's getting a lot busier with the art scene and everything.
Yeah.
But
and it's cool that they made that musical about this town as well, right?
I know. I mean,
Really
hey,
cool.
thanks, Lin-Manuel Miranda. Yeah.
Yeah, he made it right.
Crazy.
Hamilton
really
in
got on the
Canada.
map there.
Hamilton, Canada.
I've not actually seen it.
Yeah. Nice. Well, hey, thanks, guests, so much for coming on. Now that we have you two together, I think this is something Darren was talking about. Is we can talk, we can talk shop kind of a thing, right? So I work in the entertainment industry as well as like everyone here except for Darren. I feel almost bad, Darren. Do you want to hop on? We gotta get you working a little bit. You can sell your merch.
What do you guys need me to do? Like
I don't know.
If there's a paycheck, you know I'm there. Okay.
Yeah, I'll try to get you on to the show I'm working on. But yeah, so the entertainment industry, I think it's very fortunate that it didn't shut down when the lockdowns happened the second time, because it did shut down the first time. So at least business wasn't halted. But yeah, it's done nothing but grow in Toronto. It's kind of crazy because I thought this would just be a wave that disappeared, but like it's not. We're turning into the new BC. Like
Yeah.
I feel super lucky to be like the age I am when this is happening, because I can only imagine if I was like 10 years older, like if right now was the year. I mean, it is 2001 where I am, but you know what I'm saying? Like if I was 28 in the year 2001, I feel like business would be a lot harder. Like I probably would have moved to BC to find work. So yeah. How do you guys feel about working in this district, this area, right? The GTA. Like, have you guys ever thought about going to America or going to BC? Either of you can take it. I guess, yeah. That was
I've not been to BC at all, so I'd like to go.
To see it in general.
Sure. But it seems like Toronto's like you said, the new place, right? There's so many. I think every year like it doubles or triples in the amount of productions that are made here.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to stay here. This place is cool.
Yeah. This is where it's at.
Yeah, I'm the same.
And well, so actually, I don't know if I asked you, Eric, but you're short 58. It's based in America, I'm assuming, right? Because it's kind of centered around the Roswell incident. But is it a specific?
Nevada, yeah.
Okay, it was in the state of Nevada. I was just assuming that. I was being an ass. You know how they say about assuming makes an ass out of you and me? It's like, I literally didn't even ask you at any point. But yeah, I was just assuming it was around that area. Is it based on any particular town that you know of? Or that you researched? Or is it kind of made up town? Because you can do whatever you want. right?
Well, like throughout the feature script, they're on this journey, so they kind of do like a town hopping type thing. So I do reference different actual towns on their journey. Nothing like too crazy in depth or anything, just towns. So
Yeah. It's just a reference to the time and place.
Yeah, I made sure I looked at a map so it like makes sense in the story.
Yeah.
As opposed to just making some places up, if you actually chart it out, it makes sense.
Yeah, nice. What do you find more fun, the creative process of coming up with a concept or research? Or is research taxing? It's like the opposite kind of feeling. Because for different people, it's like, yeah.
Yeah, I personally, the creative process, just, I don't, I mean, I found writing a period piece was kind of interesting because it taught me about different moments in the 50s and everything, like actual moments that I researched and put into the script, like certain sports games and stuff like that. So
Yeah, nice.
yeah, it was kind of cool in that sense. I haven't experienced that before because everything I was just pulling out of my ass before that. So it's like it wasn't based on
well, right. Well, yeah. I mean, how else you got to start somewhere? So yeah, you come up with the idea and then you start digging into it, and yeah. But nice. That's the way to do it.
Piecing it together.
Yeah, and then now Aidan, what I hadn't asked you this before, and I've only actually known about this because of Darren, but you have also written something, and didn't it win an award? What the heck? What's going on there? We haven't
What a
talked
few
about
awards.
Yeah,
Just saying that.
Yeah, I write things. I used to make short films back in England. Then I moved here. Just started writing instead. So I wrote. The first year I was here, I wrote a film, entered that into festivals. That won some awards, and then the second year, going into the third year now, I wrote another one, and that's picking up some awards too.
That's crazy. Well, what is it? How have I not known about it?
You want me to
Or
do
maybe
the
I do, and I
elevator
didn't even know it was you.
The first one was inspired by kind of like the Coen brothers and their movies, where it's like hapless criminals, hapless idiots, kind of getting into situations they shouldn't be in. Lots of like small town cops, small town criminals, that sort of story. And then my second one, that's a Western about a Native American who he rescues a woman who is lost in the Rockies, and her husband's just died. She's pregnant, she's lost, and she's white. And then he's a Native American, so he takes her in, but then he's worried that other white people are going to think that he's kidnapped her.
Right? Yeah.
Even though he's being good, he's just helping her. So then it's like, okay, I better get back to her. Pardon?
It's a period piece, but is it like 1600s, 1800s,
early 1880s?
The 1880s, yeah. So
like
it was still a wild
Western.
time. It was literally the Wild West. Yeah. That's nuts. Yeah. When I think of Wild West, I only think of like Texas, Nevada, like just desert plains. I never think of the Rocky Mountains. Those mountains still existed in the Wild West, but yeah, there's very few stories about it, or at least that I've seen. So yeah, nice. That's awesome.
That's super dope.
Yeah, that's crazy. So what are you saying? Is that what you currently just made, or is that what's already been put out there?
Yeah, that's the one that you probably saw the poster for.
Okay, yeah, true.
Yeah, you've seen that.
Yeah. I gotta look into it at this point, right? I mean, yeah. By the obviously before this episode releases, I'm sure I'm gonna do a deep dive. I'm gonna do a stock dive into everything. Sure. Are you established on IMDb, or what's your current status there?
I have some credits.
Okay, nice.
But mostly the just ones I put on myself.
Well, yeah, I've done the same thing, right? Yeah. It's funny. I worked on or like I've already mentioned this like 100 times, but I worked on the movie Hysteria as a PA, and that was the first IMDb credit I got, but it was someone else who had made it for me. So I don't have access to my own IMDb, and I've tried so many times now to like reestablish it. Like I've made my own account, but it's just like
Yeah.
every new credit that I get, like even for the short 58, it's that account has been added to it because Claire worked on Hysteria, so she like added me to that short. But like
Right.
that's the account that I don't control. It was just made by someone else. So
Dang.
it's funny. It's one of those things where I'm probably just being lazy. I got to reach out to the person and say, "Can you please give me the password or something?" I have access to my own.
Like the person just starts giving you like all these messed up credits.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like a
All
Serbian
over the
film.
board.
I'm like, whoa, no.
Yeah.
I had nothing to do with that. Oh, that's funny. But yeah, that's jokes. So, previous to finding out that you had actually done writing or have been doing writing for a long time, Aidan, I kind of knew you from the outside as an actor. What what kind of experience do you have there? Do you have more experience in writing or acting?
Well, the writing's like unpublished, right? So
Right.
all I do is I enter them into festivals. No one's
Yeah.
no one's picked up my scripts or anything.
It is yet to be published, yeah.
Acting wise, I started as an extra in the UK, and then again in the short films and stuff. Like, because I used to make them with my friends, and then I would just be in them because it's just easier just to put yourself in them sometimes.
You don't have to pay for an actor. If
Exactly.
You're the actor.
So we didn't pay anyone anyway. And then when I came here, I'd say the first job I got when I moved here was as an extra. Like within like the first week. It was on a Netflix show called Anne with an E. Heard of that?
I know that, Anne with an E. I don't
It's
know.
like it's Anne of Green Gables, but it's like the Netflix version.
Okay, true. Yeah, whatever.
It was
that
like
means.
a CBS. What's it called? What's the Canadian
version
show?
of that? I don't know.
CBC?
CBC,
Yeah.
CBC. Yeah.
I think they
It was on
commissioned
CBC.
it. I think they commissioned it originally, and then Netflix acquired it.
Right.
And then
Yeah. That happens.
cancelled it.
But it had quite a
So
bit
you
of
can't find it
seasons,
on
though.
Netflix anymore.
No, it's still on there, but like they stopped making any more seasons.
It had a
true.
bit of seasons, though. It had a few seasons.
Yeah,
It
which
had,
makes me wonder if it stayed on CBC, would it have continued?
Would it have continued? Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd imagine it would have.
I don't know. It
Yeah.
seemed boring to me.
Darren.
It's just not for me.
Like
Let's just say it's just not my cup of tea. Let's just say it's not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that was the first show. I worked on that a few times. Then The Boys. I worked on that a few times.
No. Wait. Where are you in The Boys?
Just background.
Is it crowd?
Background. Yeah.
Well, now I gotta look for you. It's like a Where's Waldo. I gotta try to find you.
I stole a prop from The Boys. Do you want to see it?
Yeah.
So wait, are you caught up on season 1 and 2?
I am. Yeah. Oh wait. Yeah. Sorry. How are you guys doing on it?
Eric,
Have
you
you
watching
seen the show?
Boys?
I'm like almost done season 2.
Oh, that's okay. We're past spoilers then.
Okay.
I stole this from the set. So
Oh no.
it's funeral.
Yeah, that's funny.
So I took it. It's like an obituary.
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah.
I took that from the set.
Well, hey, now I know which scene to look for you in.
Yeah.
I gotta check out the funeral scene and try to spot your face.
Well, season 1, they're at like a racetrack arena thing. The speedy guy, he's having like a race.
Right. Yeah.
I was at the crowd in that one, and that was filmed at the Tiger Cat Stadium in Hamilton.
Oh, no kidding. Oh, so that was local, yeah.
Yeah.
That was local. Super hot day as well. And we just sat out on the bleachers and stuff all day.
What year did they record that?
2018, season 1.
Oh, okay. So it was like recorded and sent out kind of a thing.
Yeah, and then season 2 was 2019, the summer of 2019. And that's when we did the funeral scene and something else. Oh, I was like a paparazzi as well in a different scene.
Oh, no kidding. That's funny.
They introduced one of the new female hero.
Right, without spoilers, just, that mystery female that comes in.
And there's a scene where they need a lot of paparazzi and stuff, and she came out for the first time.
Yeah, nice. Wow.
And then just quite a lot of Netflix. Netflix have a big hold on shows
in Canada.
Yeah, they've really.
Yeah, no kidding.
So I think they have
Shadowhunters.
That was it. Yeah.
Shadowhunters. Yeah, that's
And
what
that got cancelled as well.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
But like that had too many seasons. It should have been canceled.
Yeah, I think that was maybe on like season.
Like when you're saying it's canceled, it's like that means it's ended. Because like to have 5 seasons of a show that's done. Like that's done.
Yeah.
It's not canceled. It's done. Even though it is canceled. But it's like to drag that on for 6 and 7 seasons. It's like no. This ain't Grey's Anatomy. This ain't Grey's Anatomy.
Right. It's man, my God, Grey's Anatomy's still going. Never watched the show, but to see like as soon as I started seeing like bus signs and stuff with Grey's Anatomy newest season or whatever, I'm like, what? Like, is this like Friends where they like didn't record anything for like a long time and they're like, this is the final thing? I don't know because I'm not following it. But I'm like, why is this still happening?
There's no way I can watch this. Because I've seen to like season 12 or like 10 maybe. I don't even know because there's so many.
It's like Supernatural.
Now that we're on this topic of like Hollywood continuing to make seasons and whatnot, like
way past
Fast and Furious, stop making movies.
Oh my God! Yeah, what the hell are they doing?
They're going to
say that too loud
now.
Yeah, literally.
They're going to space.
There's a shot in the trailer where like there's a car going straight. And then something happens and the car goes like on 2 wheels and sideways through a building. I'm like, no, what's going on?
Doesn't make any sense.
Even in Transformers, they're like, that's too unrealistic. We're not going to do that. It's alien robot.
So many movies are like that, though.
Yeah, and even like Vin Diesel, like he literally stomps the ground in this one movie and splits like reinforced concrete with rebar with his foot. I'm just sitting there in the theater like, what?
Why?
Yeah, like it's that bad. It's that bad.
When they were dragging like the safe along the street by a car. Do you remember
that? I think that was in the 5th one. Yeah.
I'm out.
The one that had just come out, Fast and Furious 8. A torpedo was launched from a submarine and it's skidding across the ice and The Rock grabs it and pushes it into a fucking active torpedo. Someone else had it blow up.
And isn't that the one where he's like grabbing 2 things and like pulling them together?
He's literally holding a helicopter.
Gorilla strength. It's literally impossible for humans to be this strong. It's so funny. But hey,
what
the hell?
I mean, the theaters are filled every time, guys. Why are you guys tripping? Why are you guys mad? They're filled out every time. The theaters are filled. Every time
maybe the chirp is because it's like we should be better than this as the human race, you know. But people just love schlock. They love it. It's the dumb popcorn flicks.
I'll go
see it.
Like exactly. That's what I'm saying. I'll still go see it. I like stopped watching it for like 4 and 5, and then it kind of went back into it when the 6th movie came out, and then I was there opening day when the 7th movie came out. It was so sad. Paul Walker disappeared at the end. I was like, oh. And then I was like, okay, it's over. And then the next movie came. I was like, why are you guys still going?
Wow.
It's really funny,
That's
honestly.
dedication.
Yeah.
I just don't care about any of it.
Yeah.
Like, I like watching that type of content because it's the type of content, Cop Riverdale, that it's like really hard to look away because it's so cringe that it's entertaining.
It's watching a car crash, basically. Yeah.
Yeah. We were watching something the other day, Aidan. What was it? I forget. Where the kids, they were casted they were playing high school kids.
Oh, the Fantastic Four.
I was like, wow, those kids are actually casted to age. Like they.
Sorry, the Fantastic Four was the bad example. Wait, there was a good example.
Are you thinking of what the new movie?
The children are actually of age, so they're like in high school and they look like high school kids. They don't look like 25-year-old men.
Spider-Man? The newest Spider-Man series.
It was like something we were watching.
Yeah, I can't remember. But we rewatched the new Fantastic Four, the one from 2015.
Fantastic, yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. And it's so obvious that those actors are like 32 years old.
Yeah, straight up, yeah.
It's so bad.
When did that come out? 2015, you're saying? At the time, I was working as a shoe salesman, and I was kind of like deep in my alcohol addiction, and I was writing and stuff because I write books. I feel like I've told you guys this now, and so I was with a writers club, and it's all like retired people, and we would always go to a Denny's. And like, I would just order like a coffee or something. Every so often I would order a meal, but you just kind of go there. As long as you order a tiny thing, you're allowed to stay there for hours. So we just made that our community hub. And so there was like this writers group that would go to in Oakville. And there was just advertisements for Fan 4 Stick, and there was like get the new deal where it's like get the thing burger, and I'm like, what is this? This is like so cheap. So
Oh my God.
I think I eventually watched the movie like a year or two later, but like my only experience with that movie was the Denny's advertisements, and I was like, this is not it, you know.
Yeah.
Oh my.
This ain't it. It's like, no, they, you know, that was like my introduction to like, okay, so they only made this movie to keep the property. Like they didn't make this because they kept the
basically,
film. Yeah. It's
It
like
was
Sony
so
with
bad.
Spider-Man movies. They
It
only
was-
made the Amazing Spider-Man because they wanted to keep a grip on the IP, so they need to continue making movies. Otherwise, they lose the license. It's so weird. It's like imagine not being able to drive or being really bad at driving, but you have to drive every so often to keep your license. And so you're just like crashing into stuff and just like getting all these parking tickets.
That's
And
great.
it's like all you're doing is being a menace to society. Just stop. Just lose your license. It's okay.
That was definitely a menace.
Just stop making these shitty movies.
It was so bad. I am actually really like I'm the type where like I'm sure you guys do this. I don't know if Aidan does it, but I can like just scroll through movie after movie after movie and it's not worth my time. None of it's worth my time.
Oh my
None of
god.
it.
Yeah.
None of it.
Hours can pass where I'm browsing movies and
I
I'm like,
hate
no.
more movies than I like.
Yeah.
Funny enough, like I'll watch like one movie a week, but besides that, I don't watch shows or anything. I just watch like podcasts.
Yeah.
Oh no kidding.
Like,
Oh wow, nice. That's good.
Just YouTube. I 100%. I would rather just watch YouTube. And like,
Yeah.
I hate movies.
There's more of a choice. You can watch something that's 5 minutes. You don't have to dedicate, an hour or whatever. Yeah.
I think it's like because I have a little bit of like I can't just like I don't know, Joe. Remember we were talking about it prior to the podcast as being like 2 hours. It's like
Yeah.
I swear I think I might have that with movies. Like it's like
Yeah, no kidding.
I can't just like I find movies that are like 2 hours ish. It's like you're pushed. It's that's two hours to sit and watch a movie for me. It's like it doesn't make sense. It doesn't like logically in like 2 hours.
That actually
Only.
To throw us back to 2015, I went to Europe and I swear this is going to relate exactly to what you're saying. So back in the 1930s or whatever, or even the 1960s, right? Like 2001: A Space Odyssey, that movie has an intermission in the middle of it. It's not even the longest movie. It's not like Lord of the Rings where it's 3 hours, but it's still, there were like audiences in movie theaters expected to have an intermission where you go pee and talk to each other about the movie, what's happened so far, grab more popcorn, that kind of thing. But eventually it was phased out. Like it must have been phased out in the 80s or something, right? But in 2015, which is super recent, I mean, I know that was like 6 years ago now, but I assume they're still doing it to this day. I was like just meeting my extended family in Belgium and stuff, and I'd gone to a movie to watch Jurassic World had come out.
Yes.
We were watching that movie, and then halfway through the movie, right at the end of like an action scene where like one of the dinosaurs is trying to eat the rotating ball, the second that scene ended, the movie just stopped and the lights started to come on. I was like, what the fuck? What's happening? And then it's just that intermission. And I was like, what?
Wow.
Like in your, I don't know if all of Europe, like I don't know about the UK, but there was an intermission where the movie wasn't meant to have an intermission. They just like awkwardly cut the movie.
Was it like an independent cinema or something? Was it?
No. It was a popular cinema. It was like it was a chain cinema in Belgium. And they were like, we're just going to create an intermission artificially. And also, they got weird stuff there. They don't have salted popcorn. They only have sugar popcorn and some other... Or no, sorry. It's only salt,
waffles.
Only sugar. There's no butter popcorn. They're like, butter popcorn. That's weird. You only have those two options. It's very strange. But I'm like, Europe, you guys are doing it different. I don't know what's better.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, I'm like, I wonder how people would react to that. Imagine if you have like this 3-hour epic movie, like let's say the, Fast and Furious 9, and halfway through the movie they just had an intermission.
Yeah.
Would that create more revenue? Would people be more willing to go to the movies if it felt like this event? Like I
would be okay with that.
Fair enough.
I like when because 2-hour movies. I'd rather watch a 2-hour movie, watch an hour, pause that. I need to go have a meal, a snack, go do some other stuff, then come back, and then I can watch the other hour. That's usually how I watch those. To sit and watch 2 hours and a half of a movie where it's like, if this isn't Endgame, this isn't X-Men, this isn't like movies that have to. I don't see why the story needs to be that long.
Yeah.
I just don't get it. I just feel like you should be able to like take notes, guys. Take notes.
You should be able to like,
this is why I'm here. Take notes. You should be able to get your point across in an hour 45. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
This is Lord of the Rings.
I would have a problem if they stopped it at the wrong point. Like if it was just before like the war in Avengers Endgame.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
just before, and then it just like lights go on. I'd be like,
Yeah.
I just
I'd
got
be
hard, and you're gonna fucking move on me. Come on, the action scene's right in the air.
That's
Let's
literally
go.
I
Yeah.
just got.
Yeah. They got to do it at the lull. There's got to be some kind of
like
point.
that. Be at a right
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
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 I mean, Endgame probably could do with an interval because that was probably the last like big long movie that came out, right?
That could use
Yeah.
one,
Before
right?
the shutdown. Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
like when they were on what's her name? Scarlett Johansson and that Hawkeye were on the thing about to jump off. I was like, it's like great. I'm loving it, but it's like, are we gonna get to the end game?
Are we gonna get to the end game? Yeah.
Watch the
where is
Is anyone
it?
going to say the word Endgame out loud?
Like, are we gonna get to the end game? I don't really care for these characters. No offense. Like, they're just such useless characters. It's like this could be like sped up so much quicker, where it doesn't need to be like a 15-minute scene. A 15-minute that cut that scene.
Yeah.
Now the movie's 2.5 hours. It's like cut another 15 minutes. Now it's almost 2:50. It's like there's ways it could have been done.
Well. So Darren, I don't know if you know this, but Avengers, the last two films, was originally going to be one film. But so it was originally just going to be Infinity War, except Thanos loses. So the entire Endgame movie was completely made up just to finally beat Thanos. In the original script, they didn't have any of that Endgame time travel stuff. They literally only had Infinity War, except. Right. Well, I'll say that twist was kind of good. That actually impacted me when I watched it. I was like, oh fuck, Thanos won.
Yeah.
Like he actually did the snap.
Even a movie theater in silence as well.
Where everyone's dead, yeah, and you're
Yeah.
like, what the fuck just happened? Spider-Man dies, Black Panther, like this is terrible. Doctor
That was
Strange,
sad.
yeah.
That was so sad. That was so sad.
But then
Who's that actress? Who's that actress that plays Captain Marvel or something or another? Or
Brie Larson.
Brie Larson. Yeah,
I
we
fell
can
asleep in that
pause
movie.
it right on her. I'm joking. I'm just throwing shade here.
Oh,
I was gonna say what?
When she
That's
arrives, I cut.
Yeah.
Intermission.
Everybody's going to break.
Get as much snacks as you need. Take a nap. We'll cut this scene.
She
fell asleep in.
That
She was
is
only in like 3 minutes of the movie anyway, I think.
yeah, she was
Yeah, a
basically
bit at the beginning, bit at the end. Yeah.
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 That was literally it.
Yeah.
And her movie was
Paris.
so boring. I almost fell
Yeah.
asleep twice in the theater. Twice. And the only reason why I didn't fall asleep was because I paid. You already know I'm falling asleep after I paid. I'm like
that's right.
watching this movie like they're not getting
Gotta do it for the
she's not
money,
getting my
otherwise
money,
you're throwing
like,
money.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use the money, and I did.
The cinemas would make more money from us if they had an intermission, because then you're more likely to go. Oh, I'll go buy more snacks.
Fill up on the drinks.
All about the food, baby. Yeah. The funny thing is the majority of revenue made for movie theaters is from food nowadays. I don't know if that was the case in the 80s, but and it's not like because it's so expensive, but because of the way that distributors now have found a way to like haggle down the percentage where it's like you only make like 15% of ticket sales and the distributors make the majority. And Disney's a nightmare when it comes to that. Like they were threatening movie theaters when the new Star Wars The Last Jedi was coming out to say if you don't feature our film in all of your deluxe like IMAX and AVX movie theaters, we're pulling it from your entire chain. Like they were threatening AMC with that and like a couple other ones in America. And it's insane. And then plus they were like, and you also only get like 5% or something. Like they dropped that percentage so much where it's like you're only making money from the food sales, but if you don't take us, no one will go to your movies. They'll go to the ones that's playing.
And that's why they're so high. But then again, that's why there's no that's why there's no intermissions, because essentially the flip rate would be like if you're sitting in a fucking 2.5 hour movie and then you're gonna have an intermission, we're sitting there, we're in that thing for 4 hours almost. How are you gonna flip and watch? You're getting 2 movies a day. Like, they making no money.
Yeah.
On food alone, like I ain't going to go back and then go buy a whole nother Nacho Supreme. Like I'm just gonna go back and fill my drink. It should be free refills. It should.
It's a numbers game. They decided pure
after
population
I just spent
count.
$9 on a drink.
5 movies a day versus 4.
But that's the thing is the movies are too damn long. Like movies. No offense, like
it's almost like you guys know the YouTube algorithm, how they now reward people for like streaming games and podcasting, kind of like what we're doing, where the longer your content is, the more featured it gets versus like really good content that's only like 2 to 10 minutes. It's really weird. I don't know why they decided that. It's probably just for advertising reasons, right? Just because of money they can make on
Yeah,
advertising.
because there's more ads still
Yeah.
on the video.
Yeah,
More
and
ads
there's
to
more
contain it.
there's
If
more
it's a longer video, more ads. So yeah.
Yeah.
It sucks. It sucks, but yeah, that's I don't, you know, I'm sure that's not related, but it seems like a weird coincidence that that's also what's happening with movies.
Yeah.
Every movie's 3 hours.
How do you feel about? Because I got this email the other day because I have Disney Plus, and I got the weekly email thing, and it was
Okay.
like, they've got this new animation called, I think, Raya and the Dragon, or Raya.
Right. Yeah.
I
yeah.
might have seen the trailer for that. Yeah.
So this email comes through, and it's like the title's price correction, and it's like, the other day we emailed you saying that you'll be able to stream Raya and the Last Dragon.
Oh, just as is.
$27, but actually the price it should be is $35. Sorry
What
for
the
the.
fuck? They just inflated it?
Yeah, the price went up.
I thought you were about to tell me
Nobody's buying that
they
shit
said you
anyways.
didn't have to pay, and now
No, they told us the price was lower, and then said actually it's $5 more, or more than that.
Canadian.
That reminds me of something I actually saw on this website.
What the fuck is
For a
that?
beanie.
Embroidered beanie?
That's a good price drop.
560.
I was like, wow, what a deal.
That's a deal. That's a sale. Now, that's a deal. That's a sale I can't compete with.
You see that?
I can't compete with
I like
that.
that.
I can't compete with that. I can't compete with that.
Yeah, fuck. I mean,
That's
you
a
know,
deal.
Yeah,
That's a deal.
yeah. I'd like to see that happen to gas prices or something. Right now in Toronto, it's like $15 or something, or 15
It's
cents. I don't know.
ridiculous. I can't believe it. I'm just confused. Why is it so expensive?
I'm sorry, I'm saying 15. Like 115,
117
and it
almost,
used to be like 70, like during the
Yeah.
height of the lockdown, because they're like, nobody's
like
driving
so
anymore.
low.
We need to drop the price. And
Yeah.
now that's not the case. It's been steady at like 118, 115 this whole time.
Yeah, why?
I'm waiting for it to drop. I'm like running on empty. I'm like, I can't fill up with these prices. I mean, I can, but it's like I don't want to give them the satisfaction. It's like a principle. Fuck gas companies with your artificial
Stroke their
inflation.
egos.
But what is that? Yeah, I don't get why I don't understand it either. It just doesn't make sense.
It's the same as how the housing market. It's just made up. If the competing companies can agree, then inflate the price, and there's no one else you can turn to.
Yeah.
And so that's what they decided. They're like, let's be immoral as fuck and just make tons of money off of poor people and people who just desperately need transportation to get around by just making it overtly expensive. Stupid as fuck. It's not like I'm necessarily one of the poor people, but I'm in the lower class. I'm not living high and mighty, you know. So
Like
that's
I'm not
why I'm
even-
like, it's more of a principle thing. It's not like I'm pinching pennies, but still, what the fuck? Like, that's not good. What are you guys doing? Yeah.
The only benefit for me personally is like I'm staying home so often. I only need to fill up once every 2 weeks now. It used to be like once every 3 days.
Yeah.
I put
true.
like $20 in, I'm good, and I use premium too. So
Wait, what car? What type of car do you have?
I have like a
Sedan or-
SUV, a Volvo SUV.
So I guess it's just really good with fuel economy, or what?
Well, not really, because it's premium. So it's like I'm paying like $1.35 a liter.
How are you only putting $20 in then? Or you're just not going far?
Because I just don't go on empty. Going on empty, I always just make like I'll just put in $20 when I see that it's almost empty. So then when I put in $20, it'll go a little bit.
Oh,
past
that's your method. Yeah, there's so many different methods. Me and my brother.
Medium, sorry, middle. It'll go a little bit past.
Yeah.
That'll last me like literally like 2 weeks.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, me and my brother, we shared a van when that was like our first vehicle, quote unquote. Even though it's like we just took our mom's soccer van, and then she got an SUV, funnily enough. But yeah, that was our method. Is we would split it because we both went to the same job. We were literally both working the same job, this Davy Trees, and so we carpooled. We drove into Mississauga together, and then we always ran it on empty though. I don't know why we did this. It made no sense. We had the money, but we were just like, you run it on empty, and then I put in $20. Then 2-3 days later, he puts in $20, and we just perpetually kept it near empty the entire time. I don't know why, because none of us wanted to put in full, and then the other person just was like, oh, now that's full. I'm going to go on a joyride for the weekend and just take the van that you just put the gas money in. Yeah, super weird.
Oh, okay.
Trust
That's
each
like
other.
when you're
I don't know.
sharing. Okay, yeah.
Because we were sharing the
Like when
same
you're
vehicle.
sharing.
Yeah. It's
I
funny.
just would get anxiety whenever I like if I ever like it's like red and like I'm on the highway or something, I would literally just like die in the seat. Because I would
You just
just
have
be
a
like,
heart
okay, I'm not gonna make it. Like I would
Yeah.
always make sure there has to be gas in there. Like, come on, you guys.
Yeah,
Can't
I've had a few scares before. Actually, wait, no, a few scares.
Yeah.
I literally one time gas ran out. It wasn't with the van that I was sharing. It wasn't even my vehicle, but I was driving it at the time. My friend Alex's car. It was like a Ford Focus. So it was a dinky. It almost looked like a smart car, and we were just driving around. Right? It was like either at the end of high school or right after high school, and we were just driving around late at night, being hooligans, you know. And we're just riding out on empty because neither of us had that much money. And then we got to a point where it literally died, and we're like, ah, damn it, we gotta get gas. So we started pushing it on the road, and we're going up a major street, like, and we're just and it's like uphill too. And he just popped into neutral, and the two of us are just pushing it like up the hill. Eventually, someone came and helped us, but he was like angry the whole time. He was like this old man. He was like, "What the fuck is wrong with you guys being on the road?" And we were like, "So we have no gas, so we're pushing it to a gas station." He was like, "God damn it, let me help you." And he got like a little back to his car and started driving. And he was pissed the entire time. It was like, you don't have to help us. He was like, fucking stupid fucking kids. We're like, you can just leave us here. You don't have to help us. But he brought us all the way to the gas station and then just like revved off, like as if we were like annoying him the whole time. We're like, thank you so much. And he just drove away. We're like, all right, I mean, what the hell? A true saint, you know, truly selfless. Because if you enjoy doing a kind act, then technically you get something out of it. So if you just don't enjoy it and hate it the whole time, then you're being truly selfless.
So true. That's
Yeah. So there you go. I don't know. I don't know if you guys have ever had a story like that. Like, but
then how then it costs more to get. Don't you have to get like the canteen to bring it back now? The gas in.
No. Like our plan the entire time was to push it right to the gas station.
I know, but if the guy takes you there, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You now are at the gas station.
No. No, I mean he strapped a cord to the back of his car and to the front of ours. And towed us basically. But really rough. Like he was driving and he was like, all right, you guys pop it in neutral, but then if I slow down, you'll run into me. So you got to be ready at the brake. So it's like my friend was just like constantly like at the brake, like getting ready. And then every so often he hit it, but he was like too tight and it like pulled the guy and he was like, fuck. he's being very annoyed about it.
This is awful. That doesn't make any sense.
He really hated us. He was like some random old man. It was like 1 a.m. on like a Tuesday night. He was the only guy on the street. It's like, what are you doing driving around? Like, are you a serial killer? Like, what, you know? You got to question that guy.
Yeah, definitely. He was definitely on his way back from murdering someone.
Yeah. There was a person in his trunk. Yeah. God damn it, I gotta help you guys. Yeah.
You were his next victims, but he was just so pissed off with you that he just gave up.
He was like, I was gonna kill you guys, but you guys are such assholes. Yeah. And that's how you escape death. Just annoy the killer. Yeah.
Yep.
That is hilarious. Just hilarious, Joe. Wow, that's a good one. You got me there. Okay.
That's right. Wow. So this is like semi-related, but the whole like approaching strangers and whether or not you should be like polite and stuff. Like the guy was being rude, but he did help us and he didn't kill us, so he is a good guy in that regard. They say, and this is like advice mostly for women because it's not too often that men get victimized by other men. It's still possible, right? I mean, but statistically, it's more often it'd be women. If a stranger is willing to help you in any place that isn't like overtly outside in the middle of the day with tons of people around, they say always be rude because it is never like you're not going to have a meet cute with some guy. If someone's willing to help you, even if they're good intentioned, always reject it and be rude. The whole idea that we should be polite to each other is it's a learned process, right? Like our intuition is naturally like, you know, you be warm around people you got good chemistry with, right? Someone seems like a good guy, you be nice to him, that kind of thing. But otherwise, too often people will normally be they'd rather not be rude, even if it's to someone they'll never see again, right? So people they'll almost turn off their intuition if they feel kind of uneasy around someone. They're like, oh, but I don't want to be rude, so they be nice to the person and then end up getting victimized in whatever manner, right? Whether it's a robbery or something worse. So yeah, that's like a general rule of thumb that you almost have to teach yourself now after the fact. You know, assuming I'm pretty sure our audience base isn't children, it's people who are, you know, young adults or adults. Yeah, it's like never be nice to strangers because
Well,
Either
not
you never
that
see
bad.
them again, so even if you're a dick in their mind for
Just
the rest of time, you'll never see them again. No big deal. And you could have
getting my
saved
getting my
yourself
axe out,
being attacked.
getting my axe out, loading my
Well,
gun.
well-
I'm just like, I don't
Right,
have.
right.
You want to help me?
I honestly,
Help me, help this. Help
I-
yourself. Fuck away. Yeah.
I'm not the nice. Like
Oh,
I feel like I
hospital.
like to be
Fuck up.
nice, but I feel like
Yeah.
it's a balance game for me, 100%, Joe. Where like, remember when you were last podcast how you were mentioning about the parking spot?
Fucking scenario, yeah.
You were so. I thought you handled that really well. Where
I
like,
thought about it, but yeah. I still think I shouldn't regret what I did. I guess I'll TLDR you two. I drove up to like a Dollarama parking lot right near my house, and it's a little parking lot that's kind of like only for customers kind of a thing. And it's, when you think of a parking lot, there's like a strip where it's kind of like 2-layered and stuff. So more often than not, if you drive into a parking spot and there's a free one in front of you, you drive forward
through.
because you don't want to back out.
Yeah.
So
Totally.
I'm in a scenario where there's a bunch of cars and then one free spot. I drive into the one free spot and there's a free spot in front of me. So I decide to drive forward. Just as I'm driving forward, another guy is coming and he wants that exact spot. The only thing is, on his side, there's nothing but free spots. It's only on my side was there cars. So he could go to the left or right of me. There's just, and like all the way over, there's like 2-3 free spots all around me. But he decides to come right where I am. And he decides to stay where he is. The front of his car is like inched into the spot, but I'm like halfway in the spot. So I'm like, no, I already got this spot. Fuck you.
wait, Joe, if you don't mind me, sorry to interrupt you. Can we stop there? Eric, what would you do in this situation?
Yeah, right.
Your car's in the spot, basically more than
Yeah.
I would say Joe's like
More than
70% in the spot. You're like
Yeah.
75% in the spot.
Yeah, but
80%.
To be totally honest, I would start to pull up, and it would be a standoff to the death, basically.
Interesting.
It would-
Yeah.
I have to admit, this may surprise the viewers of whoever's viewing, but I get in about 10 confrontations a week when I'm driving.
Oh my god, no kidding. It's the city life. It's the city life.
Wow.
You gotta be aggressive.
I mean,
Aiden, you?
I'm not an example.
I'm the opposite of Eric. I'm the unconfrontational. But I think in that situation, if I was
You're already there.
70% into the thing, you just have to be like, arms crossed, just kind of, I'm here.
Right,
Like,
right. So
I ain't
yeah,
budging.
Joe?
let me say. So I normally I let people through and stuff, except for when it comes to merging, when people are like lined up on the off-ramp thing, then I'm like, you had your chance, like you're just trying to inch forward. When that happens, when you're like slowly itching forward in the highway and you see someone revving up, every so often I'll literally cut them off. I'll like inch over so that they stop, because I'm like, fuck you, try to get past all this shit. Come on, man. But in this scenario, I'm mostly in it and I'm like, nah, I'm not moving, right? Because I would have if the other spots were taken, right? But I know that he has options. I have one other option, but he has several options. I'm like, nah, I got the spot. So I put it in park, and then I look at him, and I kind of do one of these. You can't see because of the blue screen. I'm going like, what's up? And he just stays there. And this isn't up here, right? He's looking at me as a young man. He's like a 40-year-old man with his wife. I said I'd TLDR this thing, but basically telling the whole story. So what happens is I step out of the car, not because I want to fight this guy. I hate fighting. I'm a lover, not a fighter. I want to step out and say, excuse me, sir, I have this spot. But the second I open the car, he gets scared and immediately revs back and goes into the car beside me. And then so I inch forward, park it.
Power move.
And yeah. But now I'm like, okay, so I don't know if I can trust this guy, because he seemed jittery. The fact that he was confrontational and then immediately backed off makes me think he's going to key my car or something, right? Like I just don't trust this guy.
He pulled into the spot right next to him.
Right next to me. Yeah. He didn't try to get away from me. He parked right beside me. So I put my, I move forward, put my car in park, get out, and then instead of going into the store, I wait there because he's now parked. Why isn't he getting out? He's kind of just sitting there. So I literally just stand by my car and then wait. I'm like, I can wait here all day. So eventually he's like, all right, this guy isn't going to move. It's time for me to get out of the car. So he gets out of the car and I'm like, hey, sir, how are you doing? And he's just like, I don't know. Why do you have to move over like this? And he's like Eastern European. I'm like doing an accent. And I'm like, I just want to make sure. Are you okay? are you okay? And he's like, well, I don't know why you had to take this spot. You have a spot literally right there. I'm like, I know, but I already got this spot. I just want to make sure that you're okay. And I'm
You're
basically,
okay.
I don't know if I'm sounding like the biggest fucking douchebag asshole in the world, where I'm like, are you okay? Are you gonna do good? Like I'm like dominating him in front of his wife. But I was just saying that because I was like, I don't know if you're unstable or not. I need to test the grounds by talking to him to see how he reacts to me confronting him. And he was just like, well, I'm just saying it's not fair, like why you have to do this? But then you come here. I'm like, I know I could have gone back, but so could have you. So none of us are in the right here. I just moved forward and now here you are. Are you going to be okay? He's like, yes, I'm going to be okay, but it's not fair. I'm like, okay. So then I went inside. And then when I came back, his wife was like just waiting in the car. So I guess she was just chilling there the whole time. And then I checked. I'm
Yes.
like, okay, nothing's
Thank you.
I'm okay. So I get in the car and I drive away. And I was like,
Thank
that's
you.
the most aggressive I think I've been in a really long time. or
But you-
ever. I mean, growing up, I was like the shyest kid. So it was really,
I
I
can
feel like the
tell-
city's changing me now that I live here.
I mean, I gotta go in a couple minutes, but I can tell you
Yeah.
the exact story, except how it goes very, very bad. What I experienced.
What? Yeah, what happened? Please tell us. This is the goodbye
Okay.
story.
Yeah. Basically, the same exact thing. I pulled up. I took the spot. It's the exact same scenario, and this was at like a movie theater, and oh my god, man. And he was sitting in his car, like watching me, and I rolled down the window. I was like, yeah, and then I like pulled out, and we got into this huge like crazy verbal like yelling mad threats to each other for 5 minutes straight.
Yeah.
And I was very naive, so I parked somewhere else at the time, and he keyed my car.
Oh my god, yes, he literally like hunted you down. Yeah, what the fuck?
Yeah, he waited to see where I'd park.
Yeah.
And it's like I ended up paying $1,000 just to get those key scrapes out. So kids, don't get into verbal confrontations with strangers.
Right. If someone screams back, then they're unstable, right?
Okay,
yeah.
so there's
a
a situation. Okay, so I have a situation where the exact same. It's not the exact same thing had happened, but it was with the driver.
So I don't want to cut you off, but I did promise Eric a safe and friendly departure at 2:30. But we will continue. So we'll say goodbye to Eric, and thank you so much for coming on. Yeah, and just and chatting and catching up and everything in general. And yeah, I think we're all looking forward to the end of the month when the lockdown finally.
Thanks for having me on. Nice to meet you, Aidan.
Nice to meet you.
Peace. See you.
I'll see you later.
Bye.
See you later. Good rest of your day. Bye. Sorry, but yeah. Sorry to cut you off there, Darren. But
it's okay. I really actually wanted to end it on this note. For me, anyways. I just wanted to say where things sometimes have to happen in order for you to kind of be able to reflect. So a situation had happened to me when I was drinking at the time, and I was just in the drive-thru of a McDonald's or whatever. The person was already in the speaker ordering their food. I ordered something because it was a two-way thing. After I was done ordering, I just went through because why wouldn't I go through?
Mm-hmm.
Now he's trying to go through, so I let him go through because he's honking me. He's just honking me. I let him go through, but passive-aggressively, I hold my horn after I let him go through. So now we're in the drive-thru. He's in front of me. I'm behind him, but I'm laying my horn down, and I'm not letting it go. I'm not letting it go. I'm laying it, and I'm laying it, and I'm laying it. The guy comes out of the passenger seat or whatever.
Yeah, no kidding.
I'm ready to scrap. I don't give a damn. I'm ready to like knock somebody's teeth out. But that's so aggressive, and who knows who's coming out? What if the Rock's coming out of the car? And
or if they have a weapon, like you have no idea what.
Again, too, I race all these things where it's like this could go easily very bad, right?
Yeah.
A situation had happened maybe like 2 months ago. I don't know. I think I mentioned it here on the podcast where the same thing had happened. The same thing had happened, and a lady was so. I just let her go through.
Yeah.
She was so mad. She was like literally just like inching like so. She comes like through the drive-thru, like she just has to go through first. To the point where, when she came to the window, I noticed that the lady had to recorrect her because it
wasn't her turn. Yeah. Oh my god.
But I just let her go through, and I felt great afterwards. But the first time when it happened with the guy coming out, I literally couldn't sleep for weeks. I had to talk to one of my good friends about it at work to really talk me through it and like break it down and like actually get over it. Like I had to like come up with scenarios in my head of like how to like handle this in a better situation next time. And then
no kidding.
years later, 3 years later, it happens again, and I just was like, go on through.
Yeah.
It's like you just live and you learn. It's like maybe I didn't really. You never know. I could have just still went through whatever. She wants to be mad. Let her be mad.
Yeah, that interaction.
I would know
like,
how to read.
There's like 24 hours in a day, and then that interaction is just like 60 seconds of that 24-hour day.
But it fuels your thoughts for like weeks.
Yeah.
Like it's insane how
there's a balance.
Like it's like the difference between like movies and like scripted scenarios versus like actual real life confrontations is so insane. And actually, it's funny. Like a really good analogy that I heard recently, and honestly, I forget who it was, but it was like some YouTuber. And it's not like they made this specific analogy, but just like when I was hearing this person talk about it, in movies that have action scenes, the action's always punched up and stuff. It's super extra, and there's like sound effects for punching, and it's like even if it's like overtly gory or like trying to be realistic and stuff, it's still like it's really drawn out, and there's like you see the punch, and there's different camera angles and all this stuff. But in the film series Harry Potter, which I'm sure everyone has heard of and knows about, they have action scenes, magic fights that happen in that movie. And it happens so much quicker than any other like big budget movie. Like if Michael Bay got a hold of a Harry Potter movie, the like story would be like the B plot, and the A plot would just be the magic fight scenes that happen. Where it's like Severus Snape and fucking Dumbledore like having that epic fight in the Parliament or whatever.
Yeah,
it's like
there's explosions.
yeah, there'd be so many more explosions, and there'd be so much like slow motion and just all and there'd be punching and like guns and stuff. Like it'd just be so extra. But as it stands, the Harry Potter movies, the action scenes are so quick. It's literally just and it's like it's like in real life gun violence where it's like everything's over in 1 second. It's so quick. The majority of the movie is about talking and relationships and like the tension of certain things building, and then the actual action scenes are so short and so quick. But it's like that's real life. When when confrontations happen in real life, whether it's like an actual war zone or like gang violence or like fighting over a parking space, when actual moments of confrontation happen, everything before that moment and everything after that moment in everyone's mind is completely that one moment bleeds over the entire day, the entire week. Like, and it's so short. It's so like impactful. It's just weird. It's weird how that works.
Because those things really do shape you. Like they really, because that's
yeah. Like, it can be a moment of extreme change in someone. Just that like a
really
moment.
Like it teaches you certain things. It's like, and in that situation, really, I should have went first, and I should have just said, you know what, too bad for her. Because in this situation, I was in the right. Because
you were literally in the right, and she like
And so were you. You were in the right. You were 70% in. And then when he comes out of when he comes out of the car and try to explain and say, "Oh, well, it's not fair." What's not fair? There was two parties that could have made two decisions, right? Mm-hmm. He, at the end of the day, when it happened the first time, I was still ahead of him to order. He was behind me, and that's why I again let him go through. And because I let him go through, I felt now that I'm like must be of a less, so I'm gonna honk my horn, and that's why I reacted that way, which isn't the right way to react essentially. No. So I'm learning this next time that like at the end of the day, maybe I could just hold my ground like you did, Joe, because you taught me right there that in the next situation it's okay to hold your ground sometimes, because sometimes you are in the right, and that time I was in the right, and I could have just went through and held my ground, but instead, because of how something had happened last time, I'm just gonna.
You overcorrected.
Yeah, I just let it.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like you got to really balance things out sometimes. And I think you handled it perfectly.
And I will say this: I feel like the human mind, as we all know, right? Not to flex on our species, but it's the most complex thing in existence that we know of, right? Human psychology is extremely complicated, right? There's a lot of different variables and facets that go into how we interact with each other. Like, we're social creatures. There's tons of different things, right? I feel like when you're in a car, everything is simplified. You're an animal again. There's no verbal communication because the person's too far away. There's just honking, which is like screeching and howling at another animal. And there's just the physical confrontation. And, you know, aside from like attacking, it's like just, the dominance of who gets forward kind of a thing. But as soon as you're in a confrontation that's like actually like person to person, everything gets so much more complicated. Because one thing I'll say is, even though I stood my ground in that scenario, there was back when the George Floyd protests were happening, my girlfriend and I went to a protest in Burlington, and we had done a march. And when we were done the march, I'm super paranoid about COVID and stuff. So even though I did the march, I was staying away from everyone, had my mask on the whole time. And then when it was over, instead of taking the main street, New Street, back to my house, I was like, I want to take the bike path, which is like a tiny trail that goes the entire length all the way back to my house. And I was like, I want to take that just to stay away from the crowd. I want to get away from everybody, right? I want to distance myself. So me and my girlfriends are taking the bike path, and we came across this woman who was walking her dog. And she was like, and she saw that we had like a cardboard sign. She was like, "Oh, were you two part of that protest?" And we were like, "Yeah." And she was like, "Do you know who set up the protest?" And we were like, "Oh, we forget. It was some politician from Ottawa, but like she lives in Burlington." And she was like, "No, no, no. Do you know who really set it up?" And we are like, "Oh no, what the fuck are you about
Here
to
we
tell us?" She's
go.
like, "Have you heard of the Rothschild and the central banking system?" And then she just started going off on all these stupid conspiracies. And she was like, "The video of George Floyd was doctored. He was an actor." I'm like, "What the fuck are you saying?" And and maybe it's because I was still living in suburbia. I didn't like I'm not facing aggression as much as I am in Toronto, the city life. You know, it's like almost like put me in like a state of like aggressive mind. But and back then I wasn't, because I was just in suburbia. But she talked to my girlfriend and I for like half an hour. She spilled because she didn't stop to breathe. She just kept talking and talking. The second a sentence ended, a next one started. So we had no chance to say, "Okay, bye," like, "Excuse me, but we don't give a fuck about what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's time to go." So we were stuck in this awkward scenario. We were just standing on a bike path, and people are passing us left and right. And this lady, who seemed normal at the time, she was just walking her dog. But then she stops us and starts saying all this insane shit. COVID's not real. The earth is, or I think the only thing she didn't say was the earth is flat, but she's like, she's anti-vax. Trump is like our savior. Like, she's saying all this insane shit. And I was, and plus she was from like the Ukraine or something. And I'm like, haven't you been oppressed by communism before? Like, why do you,
Interesting.
what? Yeah, I was like, why the fuck are
Interesting.
you like,
Yeah.
I don't like anti-science? Like, shouldn't you understand the freedom of like internet? But I guess that's how she got trapped, through Facebook or whatever. But it was insane. And I was like, this lady is just insane. And I was like, but I couldn't get out of the scenario. I kept just nodding and going and just waiting for a chance to say something, but she didn't give it. And I feel like if I were to ever have run into that scenario, now being in the city, in this strange new aggressive city life mindset where I got, where you know, nobody has fucking time to talk. Like, fuck you, buddy. It's like everyone's prepared to fight, but they don't fight, kind of a thing. Like, yeah, I call it the New York mentality, where it's like it's not the same as actually being like fighting random people on the street and punching them in the face, but it's like you can just say, "Hey, fuck you, buddy," and then sleep like a baby, because that person didn't take it personally. You didn't mean it personally.
Yeah.
It's just everyone's trying to get where they're going.
And I love that.
And so I feel like, you know, it's like I hope that I get into those scenarios now, because I haven't since. But it's like I would like to think that maybe I'd react differently and not just nod and wait for them to stop talking, but I could actually interject mid-sentence and say, "Excuse me, man, but you're fucking crazy. We're gonna leave now. Fuck you." Or
and there is something like, unique about like
shut the fuck up.
Suburban aggression, isn't there? Like, that's its own thing.
It is.
It's like it's like you said, like there's Toronto City aggression, which is like, this guy's homeless and he's going to attack me, or this guy's like cut me off and he's going to attack him, blah blah. But then it's over and you're done and you've moved on and you expected it anyway. But in suburban area, especially like older white women, for example, like women, it's a whole different thing. Like, they're very passive aggressive, and they're very
they start talking to other people that know your family, and it's this insane, like, it's one big family, but everyone secretly hates each other, and it's so toxic. Yeah, it is. It's literally like just this evil, creepy, kind of toxic, hidden underbelly world of the suburban life, where it seems like the American dream, but it's not. It's like once you have everything, people start making up reasons to be upset, and then it starts creating this new weird anti-culture of like, just, you know, like, there's a reason why the majority, or I don't know if it's the majority, but I mean, Trump was elected, or people, half the country voted for him. Still, even after he's been in office for 4 years, right? Why is that the case? Is half of the world an extremist? When you when you look at what happened to the Capitol riots, no. I mean, how many people were there? Maybe thousands of people, but still, way more people voted for Trump. So where are those people who aren't actively crazy, but still for some reason voted for this crazy guy? it's the suburban people. It's like these, the Facebook conspiracy people, and they're everywhere. And it's like you're allowed to be insane in the quiet comfort of your own home, but it's like, but nobody talks about it. But if they were to maybe live in the city, then maybe they'd have more interactions that are confrontational. Maybe it would help change their mind, or at the very least, they'd be more out in the open, other than secretly hiding.
And there's like the whole the Karen people.
Yeah, the Karens of the world.
And there's a lot of those came about when the Black Lives Matter stuff was going on. There was a lot of videos of
so
Karens,
many just anti-protests of all these like
and just like stopping, just like even like just
that
stopping
lady
black
with the
people.
dog. I'm gonna call the cops and tell you that you attacked me. And he's like, "What the fuck?" Like, I'm just telling you.
There's also but there's a lot of black people getting stopped from entering their own like apartment buildings.
Being like,
he's like all the white Karens like, well, you can't possibly live here. You must be trying to break in and steal everything. And the guy's like, no, this is my key. I've lived here for 4 years. Like, well, what apartment room do you live in?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like,
that was the thing too. Yeah, because there was that video of that creepy, like, spindly looking witch lady. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the witch Karen, and she was like, she was saying like, oh well, you don't live here, and he's like, I've lived here for years. Like, where do you live? And she's like, do you even live in this neighborhood? And she's like, no, but I just know that you don't. And she's like, you're not even you don't even live. Why the fuck are you like attacking this innocent person? It's insane. She didn't even live in the neighborhood. She was just walking by and was like, no, this individual doesn't get to live here.
Yeah.
What the fuck, man? People are such assholes. So judgmental.
Yeah.
That's fucked, man. That's a sickness. Yo, okay. So obviously we should stop, but there's one more thing I wanted to mention that's kind of topical. My girlfriend and I just last night watched the new movie, Judas and the Black Messiah. I don't know if you guys have heard of that movie or know about it.
I know that Keith Stanfield's in it, and I'm a big fan of him, right?
I should know people's names at this point, but is Keith Stanfield the guy from Get Out?
Yeah, well, they're both. Isn't the two people from Get Out?
The two black guys from Get Out are the two main characters in this movie.
Yeah. Lucky.
Oh my god, man. Okay, all I'll say, because I don't want to spoil it, neither of you guys have seen the movie, but I'd highly recommend watching the movie. However you can. You want to be a pirate, do whatever you want. But the movie is, or if you have HBO Max or wherever it's being distributed, the movie, without any spoilers, in one sentence, is basically the modern day version of Gangs of New York. It's based on true events. It's insane what the actual real events are, and it makes for such an amazing epic story of just these insane people in history and the stuff that they were like able to do in their lifetime. And like, and again, it's like I don't want to say anymore, but yeah, it's just I highly recommend it. And
is it about the Black Panthers? Am I getting it wrong?
Yeah, the leader of the Black Panther and how the entire history basically, but through the lens of Judas and and the leader of the Black Panthers. Yeah. But yeah. All I'd say is just I highly recommend it and check it out, and then maybe Darren, you and I could talk about it in a future episode. It's up to you, but
sounds good.
So, I think Warner Brothers, were they the ones that made the deal with HBO Max where they're releasing all of theirs? Yeah. I've watched a lot of movies recently, and I was like, why am I getting all these new movies? And it's because they're from Warner Brothers.
So like I was saying about Disney Plus doing the whole like, well, we're not going to release this movie in theaters, but you can pay $30 for it.
More than a ticket, yeah.
Mm-hmm. HBO Max, Warner Brothers own HBO Max, I believe.
They must.
Yeah, so now it's like, okay, all the content we were going to have at the cinema is now just going to be on HBO Max, so that everybody buys HBO Max to watch. Right, so the Justice League cut.
Yes, oh my god, I'm looking forward to that. Well, there's tons of other stuff. Like I'm trying to think. Is
James Bond? No, Bond isn't. No.
Saint Maud. I don't know if that's Warner Brothers.
Right. But there's a lot of like big movies going on there.
Yeah. Horizon Line. That was pretty epic.
Horizon Line?
Yeah. It's kind of like a survival movie.
Oh.
There's not much to the plot. It's one of those things where they're in a plane and then the pilot dies and they got to try to fit. They don't know how to fly and they got to try to survive. Cool. Just all these things keep going wrong. Okay. It's like people with the worst luck. The movie where just everything that could possibly go wrong goes wrong and they're trying to survive the whole time and they like almost die a million times. Yeah. It's worth watching. It's good. Do you guys like survivor movies?
Well, I like the idea. I like the idea of the pilot dying and then being like, "Is anyone?
Like, what do we do? It's like we're just flying over the ocean.
Is anyone on board a pilot?"
And it's good. It's just I highly recommend it.
Cool.
But anyway, yeah. Okay, so we'll draw this episode to a close with just a general recommendation of get HBO Max or become a pirate, or do whatever you want to do. Just watch these movies because a lot of great movies are coming out now, and I feel like 2020 has been dry as fuck. So.
Do you have HBO Max though?
Well, I mean,
trial, and we'll be getting trial as well.
I did, and I may again, and this and that.
Raised by Wolves. Raised by Wolves is on there. It's about androids getting on a planet, starting a new.
I've seen that. Yeah, I watched that season. Yeah.
You did?
Yeah. I watched that entire season.
Did you like it?
I loved the premise. The first episode, I feel like could have been a movie. It was so good, and then
everything
I feel
was
like
so good.
And then I felt like it dropped down and became a bit dull with the plot line. Like they were just kind of they were lolling around, and then the ending kind of made it more explosive again.
Yeah. Yep. I liked it. I can't wait till season 2.
Yeah. I feel like Ridley Scott, man, he just can't let go of aliens because it's like this movie it is an alien, but there's so many similarities. It's not the same universe.
Like the last two
episodes that's bleed white. It's like
the bleed white. But like the last 2 episodes, I'm like, are we just watching Prometheus?
Yeah, literally, that's what I was thinking. I was like, what is that? Like,
Prometheus right now? That's what it's like. What are we?
Maybe you never know because it might be something to do with Prometheus. We don't know yet.
Maybe it is in the same universe. That's a good.
It's check out the Easter eggs. Check your Easter eggs.
No. But the only reason why I'm thinking it can't be in the same universe is because of the weird God atheist war. Because it's like Prometheus, it was supposed to be our Earth, and our Earth doesn't have a weird God atheist war. Yeah. And it's like, Prometheus happens in 2090 or something. It's like they're checking out a cave and then they go to the planet. Yeah. So I feel like Alien is more grounded in the fact that it's based on our world, but in the future. And this show is like not based on our world. It's like this weird alternate world where there's like extreme God sun believers and then extreme atheists.
You don't know though that there's so many worlds.
What the fuck is that war? When does that happen? In the year like 2100?
There's so many worlds.
I just feel like that was a bit like Black and White, the kind of cartoony, that idea of there being a great war. It could be a bit more subtle. Like maybe it's like Russia's is atheism and then America is Christianity, and maybe they have kind of a war. But instead they're like, it's the sun god and the atheists.
Remember, it's not Christianity.
But come on. They have a book and they have a savior.
They're dressed as crusaders.
Revelation. Yeah, a lot of similarities.
But it's not.
All right, guys.
But either way,
that's where we're heading there. Check it out if you can. If you got HBO Max, if you got that free trial, check it out. It's on. It's popping. You know how we do. And that's another great one, guys.
That's another Unplugged. Yeah.
The Suicide Squad. That was the other one. Anything that's DC will be going on. Soon. I don't know.
Soon. Okay. Well, I completely forgot about that, but yeah. Oh my god, I gotta look into that. Nice. So, okay. Yeah. Hey, Aidan, thanks so much for being here. I'm sure we're just gonna keep bugging you in the future and make you keep coming back. And also, thanks so much for voicing that thing for me. I never explicitly told you that. I emailed you that, but
talk about real quick that you just picked the wildest locations and the hardest to pronounce.
The hardest to pronounce. I'm sorry. Yeah. Well, the first episode, I picked too many things like in Italy and Spain and stuff. I was like, I gotta be more diverse. So.
Yeah, in Thailand or something, and I googled it. I couldn't find anyone who even says it out loud in like a video or anything. I couldn't find anything. So I'll just say it phonetically.
Yeah, you just read it out loud to yourself. Yeah, you did a great job, honestly. Like I'm sure that you did cuts throughout the file that you sent me, but like it's still really good.
I trimmed it down for you.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. Thank you, honestly. It was super fun doing that, and like I feel like I want to keep doing stuff where I like do random collabs with people and keep growing that thing. I still, it's not like I've written anything for like a part 3, but I should eventually. So yeah, we shall see if I bug you in the future or not. But either way, thanks so much for doing that. Yeah. And to everybody, to the audience out there, I know it's too late because this is coming out Friday, but I hope that you in the past had a great Valentine's Day. Nothing but love to send to all you guys. Yeah. Love you, audience members. Love you too. I mean, come on.
All right, take it easy.
I hope you guys have a great day and
take it easy. Have a good rest of your weekend. Have a good week. Don't shovel too much. You don't have to shovel snow, do you?
Not where I am. I'm in space, baby. But if I was in New York, no, there's
All right, guys, take it easy. Be safe.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.